world's ending, take a look around. You're tuned into the truth, or at least the truest sound. The path to a better planet, humanity's crescendo. Here's the plan, the regular man's manifesto. Regular man's manifesto. Regular man's manifesto. Regular man's manifesto. Regular man's manifesto.
All right, exciting news this week, guys. We are going to be giving out a gift card, a $50 gift card to O'Reilly's Irish Bar and Restaurant, downtown Fort Wayne, this week. It's a couple things that you have to do. You have to like our Facebook page at Regular Man's Manifesto, and you have to share one of our podcasts on your Facebook. We're going to be keeping track of that. We'll probably let's do maybe like a week or two. I'm not particularly sure how long we'll be doing it, but make sure you're liking the page and sharing it, and we'll write you all down, and you'll be registered to win a $50 gift card. So
$50.
$50. I mean that's you can go get trashed off $50 at O'Reilly's. And this is sponsored to you by O'Reilly's Irish Bar and Restaurant. We appreciate you guys for helping us out. I work there, so it's kind of like...
And you can find me there. I love the place.
Yeah, it's a cool place. So I just want to say thanks to them, and we look forward to all the extra likes and shares this week. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
All right, welcome to the Regular Man's Manifesto. I got Jay McClintock, Cody
Howdy.
Pyard. Are you going to say that? And Chase Scribner here. Today we're going to be covering a couple topics. We're going to do top 5 bad decisions made by athletes. I chose one non-athlete, but he's in sports.
It's close enough.
Close enough.
And
And he's in good shape.
It's
so.
me. It's me.
Yeah. Go ahead.
And then our topic is going to be violence in sports, and that's going to kind of be a broad topic, and we're probably going to be jumping into a bunch of different scenarios and things about violence in
I
sports.
feel like these topics, you might think, oh yeah, sports, people are going to tune out, but it also plays well for people that don't like sports because we're kind of ragging on them.
Yeah.
We're mentioning sports at the same time, so sports lovers and sports haters
Boom.
can both participate.
Yeah, there you go.
Can make it
I
happen.
didn't think about that. That's good.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to stick to the formula. Top 5 first.
Number 5 for Jaybird. Pete Rose gambling on baseball games.
See, that's a good one.
He's a first ballot Hall of Famer, and he made just a bonehead decision, and now he'll never be in again.
I don't know. I feel like it's slowly progressing into like where he'll be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
Not until he's dead.
I'm assuming he's going to be like dead, or it's going to be like really towards the end of his career where like everyone's like, we forgive you, bud.
He was making some headway until he started talking shit about Ichiro Suzuki,
Well,
the most loved player in the league,
So I read
the nicest guy.
I read a cool thing about that where it was talking about how when Ichiro like was first like competing and like getting close to the record, there's a quote by Pete Rose that's saying like, oh yeah, like good for him, like I hope he beats it, blah blah blah, because he didn't think that it was he didn't think that Ichiro was an actual threat to beat his record.
He can be a class act when it's like he doesn't actually think that it's something on the line.
But then when it came down to it, now Ichiro's there. Now he's like, oh, well, his Chinese ones shouldn't count, and like blah blah blah. He's like freaking out because like the only thing that's keeping Pete Rose relevant at this particular moment is the fact that he's the hit king. And once you lose the hit king, where are you going from there?
Yeah.
You're just, you know what I mean?
Because Ichiro's the hit king, and he didn't gamble on sports that anybody's aware of.
Yeah, there you
Yeah,
go.
that we're aware of.
Yeah, that we're aware of. Although I don't think he would. He seems to be in such a good place.
Yeah. I mean, he's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I just remember like Seattle days where like I would play like MLB and like he was always a monster on there.
Yeah.
I'd always try to draft him.
A 90-pound man.
All right. My number 5 is going to be Plexico Burress shooting himself in the leg, walking up some stairs at a club.
Man.
That almost seems like it should be number 1, though, you know?
Oh man,
Yeah.
it's so goofy. It's just,
I mean, it didn't end his career or anything, but
well,
it basically
did though,
did.
because it did though because he just won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Okay, he's riding high. He's in tip shape. Whatever. Then he does this, gets shot in his leg injury wise. Then he gets 2 felonies because of it.
Yeah.
And then he goes to jail for, what, like 2 years or 3 years? Was it 3 years? Then he comes out, he's like 31 years old.
He can't
Then he
hang.
can't, and then he played like half a season.
Yeah,
and
he
he was
couldn't
just
hang
dirt
anymore.
pretty much after that.
Man, yeah. It sucked,
I
too,
think it
'cause he
ruined
was
his
so
career.
good. He was
It
so
ruined
good.
his career, 100%.
Yeah, it did.
And it tarnished his reputation, and he's an idiot, really.
Yeah.
People think of, when you think of Plaxico Burress, you don't think of like when he caught the touchdown versus the Giants to take the lead or whatever,
Yeah.
you think of like, what an idiot, shot himself in the fucking leg.
Yeah. Forever be known for that.
Yeah.
Um,
Bonehead mistake.
Just, like, I don't understand why you gotta, like, you're a pro football player. Why do you need to be
Well, that's
walking
like
around
why-
with a gun?
That's why
Being a
Ti
thug.
though, you know, I mean, they may be fears for his life. I don't know. But why are you going to clubs though? if
No,
you're
so
afraid of
I
gun?
think it's just gonna come back it's gonna be how you're raised. Like he doesn't know any better, really.
Yeah, that's true.
You don't. That's like you could say the same thing about like Michael Vick. Like that's everyone. He didn't know. Like morally, but like that's the culture that he was raised in. Like he wasn't like, oh, this is a bad thing morally. He just did it. That's what everyone did.
Yeah.
All right, so my number 5 is going to be Tim Donahue betting on the point spreads. He's a referee, and he got in with the mafia pretty much and was betting on games and all this stuff. And there's things saying that, like, he would bet on games that he wasn't the referee of, and, like, there's things saying that, like, he would still be a fair ref and wouldn't call plays based off, like, the money he had in him and
But
whatnot.
it seems impossible that
Yeah.
I mean, if it's just a 50-50 thing, it all of a sudden becomes a 49-51 thing, even
Yeah.
if it's just that.
I can't remember. There was a really cool documentary, kind of. It was like I think it was on Bleacher Report or something that was about that and like.
No, it was about that. It was a documentary we watched about lying,
Oh yeah, okay.
where it shows like his whole progression, where it was just his buddy, and him and his buddy were talking about games, and he's like, yeah, I know that this referee is more partial to
This
superstar
player.
treatment, or like so he was just like, he's gonna win this game. They're gonna beat the spread on this.
Yeah.
And the buddy didn't say anything to Donahue about it, and went and bet, and then came back and said, dude, you just made us a bunch of money. We need to keep doing this.
And then they were
Yeah.
like, okay, let's do it. And then that buddy was like, all right, cool. And then he got in with the mafia and stuff. And then Donahue wanted pulled out of it. And
It was
then the
literally
mafia
like
was
the
like,
slippery slope.
yeah, the
thing.
mafia was like, no, dude, you're not going nowhere. We're making all this money off you. Sorry.
Yeah.
Without you, if you don't do this, we're going to fucking kill you and your family. So he's just like, oh, shit. Then he just kept doing it.
Fuck.
And you gotta think though, like, why would you even start? Like, referees are he's probably making $500,000 a year just being a referee. I mean, they
Yeah,
make
I don't know
ridiculous.
how-
He was like one of the top
Yeah.
regarded ones. Like he was doing like playoff games, finals. Like he was like one of the top regarded referees. His dad was a referee. Like his whole family were referees.
Damn, he let down
Yeah.
the referee legacy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, what you got, Jay?
Number 4, and this is a guy that just belongs on any bonehead list because he's a moron. Floyd Mayweather getting arrested for grand larceny because he stole his girlfriend's phone. Which also leads me to believe, so that was like, apparently it was a $3,000 charge. What cell phone is that?
Yeah, what the fuck?
I
Yeah.
think it's probably
Was it,
like,
like, made
the
of
court
gold?
fees and stuff. Like all the things added up.
I don't know. I feel like the value of the thing you steal has to be, that's what makes it grand, right? Grand
yeah.
theft, grand
Yeah.
larceny. So, what cell phone do they have? Is this thing like...
Maybe it was a future phone or something. You know,
Maybe.
maybe it was like it was an iPhone.
It was a gold-plated iPhone.
It was the original iPhone that was, pre-released, and there was only 5 of them made, and he bought one because he's a rich millionaire.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can explain it.
You could say another bad decision of his would be,
Beating up
Not-
all his
beating
girlfriends.
up all his girlfriend.
Not learning to read.
Yeah, not learning to read. Shout out to 50
Yeah.
Cent,
Yeah.
calling him out.
What a douchebag.
All right, my number 4, you already kind of said it. Mike Vick, dogfighting.
Yep.
Pretty
See-
much had a dogfighting ring. It just baffles me. You're one of the best, most electrifying stars in the NFL.
This is me just like this is my personal opinion. If he wouldn't have went to jail for those years, they would have won a Super Bowl, and he would be in the Hall of Fame, guaranteed.
Most electrifying. He changed the game.
100
Kind of like the Michael Jordan in the NFL.
Madden 07, good luck. That was like
Yeah.
the Bo Jackson on Technical, man. It was unbelievable.
Yeah,
It was
and
so-
What he couldn't play for 2 years, was it?
Yeah.
I'm
even longer
surprised
than
that
He was
got
in
back.
jail? You mean he was in
3,
jail?
maybe 2, 3
I don't know how
years.
long he was in jail. It was a while, though. It was a couple years.
I mean,
It was
he
prime
came
time.
back.
He came back
decent.
and had the greatest season.
Yeah.
He took the Eagles, flipped him around.
He's
So
also
imagine those years.
Yeah, he's also on list for making bad investments too, where he just
Yeah.
lost a shitload of money investing in like real estate here in Indiana and other things like that.
Yeah. Okay, so my number 4 is going to be Ron Artest and the Malice at the Palace. I'm assuming we're probably going to talk about that later in the violence, so I'm kind of bringing it up now. So I don't want to dive super deep into it, but I just think that, he definitely regrets going up into the stands, like 100%. I mean, I wouldn't say it definitely didn't ruin his career. Like, I mean, he played for a bunch of years after that, and I think
it ruined that Pacers season.
Yeah, definitely. And that was a good Pacers team too.
Yeah,
man. That was a good Pacers team. But man,
yeah,
definitely
that video is insane.
It is the greatest fucking fight video.
I don't know if anybody, like all of our listeners, are going to be familiar with it, but I want to kind of like describe what happens.
Do it.
So Ron Artest gets called for a technical foul, and he's laying on the score person's table, just laying there,
and puts his hands behind his back, like, oh, like, come on, like, you're gonna call me for that foul. Like,
yeah, he's just like pissed off that he just got a foul, and a fan up in the stands throws a beer down on him, hits him in the head with it.
Well, it kind of like splashes.
It splashes all over him. He gets up, immediately sprints into the crowd.
This is the best part,
and hits a guy. Not even the guy that threw the beer.
But he got really close to the guy.
Yeah,
that actually threw the beer. He got really close to the guy. Actually,
one row away. I think he was just like knew the general direction, seen the first guy smiling, and went and attacked him.
Yeah.
So then all these fans are fighting him, and then the players on both teams are fighting all the players.
Wasn't it Pistons?
Pistons, yeah. So like. Steven Jackson?
Steven Jackson punched a bunch of people.
Jermaine O'Neal
murdered a guy on the floor. It was impressive.
He was running as fast as he could and punched a guy.
Pandemonium.
Yeah.
Mayhem.
And then like we'll talk about that later in depth about the way it like changed current day basketball and stuff later. But let's just continue on because I got a lot to say about that.
My number 3 is kind of different path that we're going here. Is Kobe Bryant's rap song.
Oh God.
He does like a rap song with Tyra Banks singing the hook.
See, but we could bring that up on a lot of athletes, like Shaquille O'Neal.
There's a lot of bad.
Shaq Fu.
Show the video game.
I kind of like.
Dude, I read something about that. There's a website trying to collect all of Shaq Fu, like the Nintendo, to destroy them.
That's great.
Why? That's a national treasure.
Oh man.
They said it's the worst game ever created. They don't want it to be a thing.
That's fucking great.
Yeah, so the value of those are gonna go way up. I don't know if you guys have listened to the Kobe Bryant rap song, but it's pretty bad.
It's bad. There's
it
a bunch
doesn't really
of bad
rhyme either. Is the thing? Like it's just like a bunch of lines about him being the greatest and chicks being hot and like he listens to God and God tells him what to do and stuff like that. Okay. It's pretty bad.
Sounds bad.
Yeah, like it makes me wonder. Like I think he actually wrote it himself.
He had to have if it's that bad.
Yeah.
He could have paid some good writers.
Yeah, for sure.
His flow's there though.
Yeah, he does have the flow, but the rhymes are so bad, and it's just so corny. It's so corny.
All right. My number 3 is going to be Ricky Williams not stopping using weed. Like, you can make so much money. He was a leading rusher one year, and then he got caught the next year.
A couple years, he was the fucking leading rusher.
Yeah, so that's like, you're amazing. You're an
he
amazing
was a ridiculously good athlete. It was crazy.
And you're getting multi-million contracts thrown at you if you just stop smoking weed.
See, but like if you think of like him as an individual though, like he's a really strange person.
Yeah.
Like he's like super spiritual, super like it's just very strange.
It's such a big part of his life.
He went and opened a yoga studio.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, he did a bunch of things. He's like, and he like wrote. I'm pretty sure he's like wrote books. Like he's like really into.
It seems like he's fine though. Like I don't think it was. I'm not sure if it was a stupid mistake or
he
just
came
like
back.
he was like.
He came back.
Oh,
later.
did he really?
He quit
came
smoking
back,
and played a couple more seasons when they introduced the Wildcat, Ronnie Brown, and fucking Ricky Williams. That was
really?
The Dolphins were the leading rusher.
Well, he might have left a couple more years and came back and was a backup for Ray Rice. Baltimore. And he was really good.
Yeah.
What's the other guy that keeps getting caught smoking weed?
Josh Gordon.
I was Josh Brown. No, Josh.
He's coming back this sean. Hopefully he doesn't get caught again.
Yeah.
Because he's electrifying too.
Yeah.
But he just doesn't give a shit. He just keeps smoking.
Well, Ricky Williams straight up came out and was like, "I'm not gonna stop. Like I will not."
See, my thing is like you would think as like a franchise. So like let's take the Browns, like their franchise, like it's random drug testing. Okay, oh yeah, I'm putting quotations up. It's fucking not.
Yeah.
When you get caught, from information I've got from someone, is you take a drug test, and if you pass that drug test, the whole year goes by, and they drug test you again on the same fucking day the next year.
Yeah.
That's the way I was told that's how that happens. But if you get caught, then they test you more frequently, but they warn you of the date. Yeah. So why aren't they telling Josh Gordon, hey dude, we're testing you next week, quit fucking smoking for a week and take a detox, and fucking run a lot, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it's inexplicable, really.
It must be harder than that. I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe he's just not answering his emails. He just doesn't.
He's out there selling cars. He's a car salesman for a year.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So, my number 3 is going to be Mike Tyson's fall from grace, and that's all kinds of things, a bunch of bad decisions. Money wise, I'm pretty sure he's top of the list for lost the most. I mean, he lost all of his prize money added up. It's $400 million.
Yeah, it's just so much money.
And he's lost all of it. He filed for bankruptcy more than once.
I think it's so much money that he just never thought he could run out.
Yeah, and he had the Tigers and all this stuff. And then you could watch him fight Holyfield. He's losing, bites this dude's ear.
Yeah.
Then he loses to the what's his name? Big upset. I'm having a brain fart right now. Dude knocked him out. Buster Douglas.
Yeah.
The biggest underdog fight ever of all time. Mike Tyson just been murdering people, comes in overweight, thinking he's going to win, starts punching him, and Douglas, for some reason, never falls, and then he knocks out Tyson in, the greatest upset of all time.
My theory with this is there is either causation or correlation between buying tigers and losing all your money.
Yeah.
As soon as you own a tiger, you think you are the shit.
He's coming back though. I mean, over the last, he became relevant again once he got in The Hangover and stuff. And he ended up having a cartoon show or with the doves. So
he's definitely an icon.
And he's an icon, and he's known as one of the greatest boxers of all time.
Yeah.
But overall, a lot of those things kind of tarnish his reputation. Didn't he go to jail for rape? Yeah, he went to jail for rape too.
Okay.
So he fucked up a lot.
That'd be probably the worst person to get raped by.
You're not stopping that rape.
Yeah.
He's raping you. Doesn't matter.
See, but I don't, man,
and his voice.
Really?
I'm just thinking about him raping you.
Shut up, I'm gonna take it. Shut up.
I broke my back.
Spinal.
Alright,
my number 2.
I love Mike Tyson.
He is good. He'd be a good one to do movies that Mike Tyson should have been in.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
With the bad acting and everything.
Oh,
yeah. My number 2 doesn't actually seem like a mistake, but the man himself actually came out and said it was a mistake later on in life. One of his biggest regret in his entire life. Doc Ellis pitching a no-hitter game on LSD. So there's a pitcher in the major leagues who, he went on this bender where he was just doing all these drugs in California, and he woke up one day and he was on LSD, and his girlfriend was like, hey, don't you have to pitch today? He's like, no, that's Friday. And she's like, yeah, it is Friday. He's like, no, that's 2 days from now. And she's like, no, that's today. He was gone for 2 days. He didn't even know where he was at. So he goes to the game and he's pitching, and he doesn't even know where people are at. He's just throwing the ball, and he pitches a no-hitter.
Yeah.
And he says he doesn't remember any of it. He regrets it entirely. He just is so upset that he can't remember.
Why would you regret that? You're infamous now because of that.
Yeah, but no, he said he came out as a big person against drugs later on in life. It ruined his life. He just regretted that his best moment in life was something that he couldn't even control. He couldn't even experience himself.
Oh man, yeah. I can see that.
Yeah, so it's amazing.
Yeah.
But it's a huge mistake. He didn't even know what day it was.
Yeah.
And he's out there just throwing a ball and threw a no-hitter.
Wow.
Yeah. So
I
LSD
think
gives
he
you
walked
superhumans.
I think he walked 9 people though. It wasn't the best pitching performance. It just ended up being a no-hitter, and he.
Yeah.
But I feel lately though, I feel we've been seeing a lot of no-hitters.
Nah, it's still the same rate.
Oh, it is. I feel it's way up.
No. I mean, they make a big deal.
I guess with
out
TV, you see them. They're no hitter.
You're notified of them for sure.
All right, my number 2 Ray Rice beating his wife in an elevator and
Yeah.
dragging her out.
That was a huge mistake.
All right, so here's another thing too. I'm gonna bring up the whole thing is like maybe the way that he was raised, like that's just the way that you treat women.
God, dude, you don't just knock out your wife
Dude,
cold
people do that all the
in
time.
a hotel. Knock
all
her
the
out.
time. All
Knock
the time.
out and drag her by her
Yeah,
hair.
yes,
Yeah.
guaranteed.
The thing
People
that,
are
like-
way worse than that.
Oh my God.
So that's a huge thing in the NFL is like, but
Domestic violence.
yeah, domestic violence huge. Criminal rates in the NFL are way lower than the average citizen in the United States. I was kind of surprised by that, but you'd think that their domestic violence rates would be way lower, but they're just barely below the national average.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, man, like that happens all the time.
I don't know.
Yes, people
God.
beat up each other all the
We'll
time.
we'll get into the origin of it.
But that video is brutal.
It is. It's fairly
That video,
brutal.
if there wasn't a video, he'd be playing today.
Yeah.
But since there's that video, he'll
He
never
got
play.
reinstated though, and no one's picked him up.
Nobody's going to, because as soon as they do, that video is going to start playing on ESPN again.
I just don't get. I don't know, man. My thing
He's
is
still married to that woman.
They didn't press no charges on him. He never went to jail or nothing. They're married now. I'm assuming he beats her up every once in a while. It's fine. That's their life.
No,
That's the life they
She's
chose.
spitting his
It's
face.
the video that matters.
Yeah.
That's what teams are thinking when they're thinking about signing him. Is this video is going to get played and it's going to be correlated with our team?
Yeah. And it's going to be a distraction for the rest of the people.
Yeah, there's a big possibility of that.
And it's just, I mean, that's a pretty shitty thing to do.
Ruined his career. Yeah,
Oh yeah, and he was a great running back, man.
he was. He was really good.
Rice or
Top
was it-
5
yeah.
every year.
Yeah, definitely in yards. I feel like he reminded me a lot of what's Doug Martin's nickname? The
Muscle
hamster.
hamster.
Yeah, he looks just like that, like this really little, fucking jack, like his legs are so huge. Rutgers, man, they made a big run with him too. They were a good team.
Yeah.
All right, so my number 2 is going to be Aaron Hernandez murdering
Oh, wow. I forgot about that.
people. Dude, and the worst part about that,
Thug
though,
life.
no, the worst part, like, besides, like, like RIP the people that he killed and stuff, but like, we created a dynasty league.
Are you getting ready to say
Yeah.
that? Okay, go ahead and say
This
it.
is the worst part for me personally, is we did a fantasy draft for football like real early in the season, and like I picked him like with like in like the 3rd round. I was like, he's about to kill it. Like he's
Pun
like this-
intended.
Yeah. Oh yeah. God.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like, oh man, I'm gonna say all these puns. I'm gonna murder this season with.
I think that's a
Dude.
huge thing too. Like a lot of the lingo that goes along with sports is
Yeah.
violent.
Yeah.
Aaron
Yeah.
Hernandez was gonna take me to the championship, and we draft, and then like 2 weeks later, he's like in jail, and I'm just like sitting there like, what? That's my fucking 3rd round draft pick.
So just to summarize what you just said is, you think that the fact that he murdered somebody, a person is dead,
It's
is,
bad.
is not as bad
It is
as
bad.
the fact that you're losing some fantasy football
It's
points.
bad. Both of them are
You
bad.
said the worst
But
part
for
about
me
fantasy
personally.
football,
For me, I don't
affected
know
him.
the guy he killed. I don't know the guy he killed. I have no idea. I don't-
Didn't it wasn't just one person.
Well, okay, so he got charged with the one, and then while he was in jail, then like 2 more came up.
Yeah.
Dude, it's just baffling.
So it's been 3, but then I tried doing a little research on it, but I wasn't trying to spend a bunch of time like looking at this because it's just kind of stupid. Like he was not a
He's
good
not a criminal
person.
mastermind.
He
either.
wasn't a good person. There's all these incidents where he was in Florida where like he was like getting in fights and he was doing drugs and all the shit, and like Urban Meyer was like just sweeping it under the rug because he's a fucking monster. He's killing it, like sweeping it under the rug. Then he got to New England, was doing the same shit, and Belichick was sweeping everything under the rug.
God
God
damn.
damn.
So I mean, like
crazy.
at some point, it's all gonna
Do you
come
think
down.
that's why these rates of crime are lower in the NFL?
There's
Because
people
they're not
wrong.
getting. Yeah, they're getting. Swept.
Because they got
They
the
gotta
rich
be,
people. They're rich people. They got good lawyers, and like a lot of things just get settled.
It's gotta be. Yeah.
I would say that that's a big possibility, but overall, I mean, they know that they're like in the spotlight, so I feel like sometimes they're like okay, like an example, say they're at like a party and there's like weed there, like I feel like they would be like, maybe I shouldn't smoke this because I'm a professional athlete and I could be in trouble. So I think sometimes they think about it, but overall, they're just like normal people.
Yeah.
They're just normal people,
But
man.
they're normal people with like more extraordinary opportunities.
Yeah, they're normal people who, throughout all of college, they could just do whatever. It's almost like they can just do whatever they want.
Yeah.
And then they get to the NFL and that doesn't go away. Because you're treated like, if you're like really good in college,
Or not even
You're
college. You
treated
can go
like a
all the way back
freaking
to like,
god.
high school. High school is where it all starts, though.
yeah.
If you're like,
Yeah.
if anyone watches Last Chance U, it's
Yeah.
on Netflix. It's really
That's
good.
a good one.
And I've talked to a bunch of people who play D1 ball, and they say like, yeah, like that just reminds me of like the kids like that would be there. Like that's like right on example of like how a lot of the kids would act, because when they're in school they're privileged. They're like, oh, you know, it's okay, like if you fail this test, like I'm gonna pass you anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know. If you listen to some of these interviews and stuff, like you can see it.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
you listen to a high school interview. Like I remember listening to like a Deshaun Thomas interview before,
Yeah.
and I was like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, put the ball, put it in the hoop." Like, oh my god, you know. But
Would you say that this was? I don't want to get too far away from our top 5. Would you say that this is like indicative of just privileged people in general, or just privileged athletes are act this way or
no,
viewed this way?
privileged people, 100%.
So we judge the privileged athletes more harshly than just privileged people acting badly. But we're not notified of a lot of like privileged people acting
Yeah.
horribly.
Not in the spotlight.
Yeah. I think that's
But I wouldn't
why-
say they're privileged on like what you're talking about. I feel like you're saying privileged as in like they're like well off in life and like things like that.
And they're
They're
placed on a
not, like,
pedestal.
for the most part, athletes are privileged when it comes to certain things, but like maybe they live in a shitty home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that
Well,
kind
they're
of stuff. They're
privileged
not
because
privileged.
of their skill.
Maybe they go to a shitty school that like, you know, that doesn't teach you correct things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I wouldn't say that they're privileged in that aspect, but I would say that they get by with more. That's what I would say about that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. My number 1. Oh, never mind. Did I skip you? I thought we just did.
Okay, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say.
I forgot. My bad.
My number 1, and I just thought it was just outrageous. It's not like it's not a huge mistake. It didn't end this guy's life, but it's just outrageous.
It's just goofy.
It's
funny.
goofy. It's just goofy. Torrey Hunter, center fielder for the Angels, probably like 10 years ago. I don't know when he retired. Pretty recently.
Yeah, recently, but he's played for a lot. Like he's won a bunch of Golden Gloves and stuff.
Yeah, he made a lot of investments, and one of them that he lost $70,000 on was a friend of his came to him with an idea to make furniture inflatable for when floods occur. So, like, you see a flood coming, you start inflating your furniture so you don't lose it in the flood.
Oh my god, it's so stupid.
So, yeah, like, that's not even where he lost the money at. So he gave this guy $70,000.
What to him? What's $70,000? That's probably a little.
This was before he really cashed in on big contract.
It don't even matter.
Somebody
though. It's
comes
so
to you with
low.
that idea and you go, yeah.
Yeah.
That's so low to him though. Like $70,000 to a millionaire is like probably like maybe like $7,000 to us.
But still,
You know what
it's
I mean?
like...
That's nothing.
But he's writing a check for this guy with this idea, though, is the thing.
Yeah,
He's
I'm not
that's
giving
going to be
$7,000
successful.
or
That's
something
going to
like
make
that.
me money.
Yeah.
So the guy comes back to him a year later, has no prototypes. He doesn't know how to make this idea work. Like, how do you make all the furniture in someone's house inflatable all in like a split second time?
I got it down. You like, you know, you pull like
Pull the string, yeah.
pull the string and they blow up. You put those like in the like inside of it, and you pull these little strings and they blow up, and you just make sure it's just buoyant enough to stay above the water.
Yeah, okay.
Look at that, I got
That's
it.
So if these things explode
Looking for
when you
investors.
don't-
That's gotta, God, that's gotta be some expensive furniture to be like worried.
Yeah.
I think that's the last year worried.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, furniture is ridiculously expensive. Have you ever looked at like legit like good furniture?
But when it gets wet though, in general, it's like, is
It's
it gonna be
gonna
floating
get-
above the
Dude,
water?
yeah, it's gonna get wet.
Yeah, I guess it's with wood and fabric. It's tough to
Yeah.
clean.
I don't understand like the whole thought process on that.
You gotta okay, so it probably was like a friend who isn't intelligent, and like honestly, Torrey Hunter was probably like, shit, like I feel bad for this dude. Like I'm gonna throw him 70
That's
grand.
not plausible,
No,
bro. There's
you
no way
can't.
you're like, oh, $70,000. Yeah.
Definitely.
I
Maybe
feel
it was
bad
like
for
his
you.
best friend.
At that point, you tell your best friend to never tell anybody of that idea ever again. Here's some money.
And he gave him 70 grand. And then the guy was like, no, I'm not listening to you. I'm really pushing for this.
No, the friend came back and asked for $500,000, and that's when Torrey Hunter said, "No, man, it's a terrible idea. Barely, just cut it off as a loss."
All right, my number 1 is John Jones. Doping.
It wasn't. So it wasn't doping.
Dude, I mean, it's illegal substances
It
are in his
was
body.
fucking boner pills.
Dude, okay.
What?
But
That's what it was.
they wouldn't say exactly what it was
It's boner
this
pills.
last time.
Boner pills.
But that's no.
Yes,
Dude,
that's
no.
what
If
it
it
is.
was boner pills, they'd let him fight.
No, that's what it was.
So like
No way.
testosterone or what?
No, I'm telling you because this is what what I've read is that it was because remember how he was doing coke and shit? A side effect of coke is you can't get a fucking boner. So he took some fucking boner pills to get a fucking hard on, and then it was in his bloodstream when he did his blood test.
Dude, he's taken multiple blood tests though.
Yeah.
So cocaine wasn't
He was
in
out
the
for a
system.
year. He got suspended for a year for doping.
Not doping.
They didn't say. Yeah, he got suspended.
You mean
for a
this
year.
most recent one?
No, the last one. When he first got suspended, he was a champion, and then he got suspended.
No, it was for the getting in the wreck and leaving the scene and being on cocaine and all that shit. It wasn't doping.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds right.
There's that, and then the most recent one
Was he hasn't been
he
suspended.
was ready to come back, and then
He did fight one fight already.
Yeah, he beat Cormier, and then he lost.
No, he didn't. He fought
he beat somebody.
George something. I can't remember the dude's name. Saint something. I don't know. I
But
don't
then when he
pay for this paper.
he got caught after the fight, because they test you, and
He didn't fight the fight at all. He got taken off that card 100%.
yeah. So I mean, he looked like he could be the next Anderson Silva of MMA.
How much money do you think he lost in these bonehead mistakes?
A lot. A lot of people
They
dropped
get-
him after the.
Yeah.
He did a hit and run. He got into a car accident.
He had so many
And
endorsements,
he was
he was
on
the
coke
number
and shit,
one
fucking
person.
freaking out, and left the scene of the crime. And the girl that he ran into was like, "That was John Jones. That ran into me. I know who he is." And then he went, and then his car was all smashed up, and then they he went to jail and shit for that.
I just thought of one that needs to be mentioned, and people will probably yell at us if we don't mention this. So I'm gonna let Chase do his, and then I'm gonna go ahead and say this.
Yeah, I feel like we should have a couple honorable mentions. This is a
Okay.
fun topic. All right, my number one. I wouldn't even consider it a bad decision. I just think it's just someone being a psychopath. O.J. Simpson, multiple things, super spiral, murdering his wife and getting away with it. That's
Yeah.
number one. Okay, he avoided jail time because he killed 2 fucking people. I don't give a shit what anyone says. That dude killed.
Oh yeah, everybody.
people.
Everybody will say.
Then
it.
he got in trouble for tax evasion, drug trafficking, stealing cable. What the hell's wrong with you? You're stealing cable? All right, and the most recent one is why he's in jail now is if you watch the 30 for 30, it's really long. It's 8 hours long, but I'm telling you, it's fucking fantastic. I'm infatuated with this story.
He loves it.
I love this story, and I love the Foxcatcher story too. I've watched every documentary about that. But why he's in trouble right now, while he's in jail right now, is he went to a hotel casino in Vegas with a group of men. They set up a meeting for this guy. He was like, "Hey, bring all your O.J. Simpson memorabilia, blah blah blah. Bring everything that you have." So, and it was to someone else. It wasn't O.J. Simpson calling this guy and saying this.
Yeah.
Group of men come. They freaking take this dude by gunpoint, steal all the memorabilia and everything, saying "Oh, this is all mine. You stole this from me. I'm stealing it back." Blah blah blah. Whatever. Gets convicted of multiple felonies: kidnapping, robbery, assault with using a deadly weapon. Sentenced to 33 years in prison. And the day he was went to jail was 13 years. Exactly 13 years after he was acquitted from the murder case.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Justice is not a fucking thing in this country.
So what I think legitimately happened
he
is
finally ended up in jail.
No, what I'm thinking is they were like, "Okay, we fucked up the first time. You're staying in forever, bud."
Yeah.
Damn, I didn't know he got 33 years.
33 years. Yeah, it's a bunch of felonies. But
Yeah.
man,
He got so much freedom in between then.
Yeah.
13 years of living. He cut somebody's head off.
pretty much cut 2 people's heads off.
All right.
It's fucking dude.
What was your honorable mention?
The one that needs to be mentioned, and it should be
Tiger
number one.
Woods?
Ryan Lochte.
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
That's so close to right now, and
Yeah.
it is so stupid
yeah.
that so he broke into a
He lost
gas
all his
station
endorsements.
in Rio de Janeiro and got caught, fought with the security guard, and then claimed he got robbed at gunpoint. What an idiot!
Yeah, nobody wanted to play along.
Yeah.
Super douche for that.
That was a huge mistake. And, I mean, I don't know what swimming careers are like. I'm assuming he made a decent amount of money being...
Millions. He was a millionaire.
Yeah,
was
but
just-
it's got to be over now, I would assume.
Yeah, I mean,
he
he's
got
a
dropped
gold.
he got dropped by Polo.
Yeah.
He got dropped by like all of his main sponsors for swimming and stuff.
He was a gold medalist. Well, he didn't win this year.
No, but he won some. He won some golds.
Oh, he won a gold in the relay this year, didn't he? Wasn't he? Yeah.
I don't think
he was in the
even
he was in the relay.
I don't know. He might have, but he didn't win a gold in the main thing that he was supposed to win gold in.
Yeah, he didn't even medal.
Yeah. Well, how are you gonna medal, man? You're all partying every night and shit.
Yeah.
Idiot. Fucking
Absolute
retard.
moron. I feel like people would have been mad at us if we didn't mention
That,
that.
or like you can say like Tiger Woods.
Tiger That's a good one.
I was trying to like avoid like really big like name people, I guess. But overall, like Tiger
Those
Woods.
are huge mistakes.
Tiger Woods literally his whole entire career it changed him 100%. Then he came back and had one really good year, but only won like maybe 2 majors that year.
Yeah.
He didn't
or
win
something.
any majors. He hasn't won a major since.
Yeah, he has.
No, he hasn't.
Do we have a Google challenge?
Google challenge.
I'm pretty sure he's won majors since then.
Since the scandal.
Yeah, because that one year, I think it was like 2011, he was the #1 golfer in the world.
His ranking was so incredibly high. He was so much higher than everybody
All right,
else.
we're doing a Google
Google
challenge.
challenge.
Boom goes the dynamite, and Jaybird gets his first Google challenge victory of the whole podcast.
I can't believe that, man, because in that 2013 season, he was like fucking incredible.
I would like to do a shout out to my pops on this one. He watches pretty much all the major golfing tournaments,
Yeah.
and I get to watch Tiger's meltdowns every.
So
every
what was
few
it?
weeks.
2009 is the scandal, and
Yeah.
then from then on out, he never won.
He never won a major, but
Yeah.
he won like a bunch of tournaments.
He
and a
cherry
bunch of
picks
shit.
tournaments. He has tournaments named after him. Like he hosts them. Like He hasn't been good for a while.
Yeah.
He just hasn't.
See, like right here, like
He's
in
a
2010, he finished 4th in the Masters. Like he's top 10 in all of them, though. So that's
Which
a
is
big.
still, but
that's,
I
yeah.
mean, yeah, you're expected to like win though if you're Tiger Woods.
But
Yeah.
then he started sucking after 2010. 2011, he was like just dirt.
I've watched him melt down so many
Yeah.
times now. It's just.
And then now he's like.
It's
hurt
beautiful to
every-
watch. He like breaks clubs and stuff.
I think it sucks, man.
I mean,
I don't.
dude, he
I don't
was
think so.
fucking the hottest chicks in the world.
No, dude, I
No,
don't
they're
think they ended up
gross.
being hot. Like
What?
a lot of these chicks that come out were not
They're
hot.
like strippers and shit.
Well,
yeah.
that one chick was real hot. His wife was.
His wife was hot.
Yeah, that might be who I'm thinking.
But my thing,
His wife was stupid.
I
hot.
guess like I guess what sucks is like he made golf relevant to young people.
Yeah.
He changed the way that people look at golf.
He's a Michael Jordan of golf.
100%. And it sucks that that happened and he fell off and that for the rest of his life he won't be thought of as the greatest. I mean, maybe he will be. He's probably the greatest.
No,
golfer
he doesn't
ever.
got all the records.
But it doesn't
Nicholas
matter.
has
though.
more.
He has
Nick-
18, but it doesn't matter, dude. He's the greatest golfer. He's probably the greatest golfer ever.
He's not gonna go down that way.
Yeah. Well, okay, was he number 2?
Yeah,
So it's like LeBron versus
Yeah.
Jordan.
dude, Jack Nicklaus is the best golfer.
You have to. If we asked like a million people, it would probably be like
But that's
close
like,
split.
That's
so
because
there's
he's
not
not-
that
yeah.
many golfing like.
If we
avid
asked
golfer
golf fans, if we
they
asked
wouldn't
golf-
say him. They'd say Jack Nicklaus.
I don't think everyone would. No way.
Well, not everyone.
Tiger Woods would get a lot of votes.
Of course he would.
Some
but-
people would even say like Mickelson and like other people like that.
Dude, come on.
Rory, like people would. He wouldn't get every
Yeah.
vote. Not every single person would be like, "Oh, it's Jack Nicholson. He's the best, no matter what." Like, no, he's
So
so
your
much
whole
better.
argument hinges on whether people like Tiger Woods. Like that
But I'm
doesn't make
saying-
him the best golfer.
But he changed golf.
He was done.
He was the most dominant golfer for the longest period of time.
Yeah, but he's not the best golfer of all time.
Because he didn't win the most. He won 14 majors instead of 18, so 4 majors makes him not the greatest golfer.
Yes.
Man.
Yes.
All
That's
right.
it. Boils down to it. Jack Nicklaus is the best golfer.
So
of
then
all
Michael
time.
Jordan's the best basketball player of all time. LeBron James doesn't come close. That's your argument right now. Championships over everything else.
That's
See,
not even
it's
the
not
comparison.
okay.
though.
All right, we'll stop talking about it.
Yeah.
Let's get
You
into
guys are
the
getting
let's
heated.
get into the topic.
I'm just over here like, what's gonna happen? Who's gonna say?
Yeah, no, it's all good. All right, so topic: violence in sports.
Violence in the podcast.
Yeah.
Violence and me winning that Google challenge.
Yeah, you definitely want to Google challenge.
Yeah, I'm very nervous because I always lose these things, but I was pretty goddamn sure there. because my dad watches
It
golf.
wasn't
I just knew that
against
he had a really good year. Like 2000, I knew he was the #1 golfer in the world for a while, so I just assumed 2013. I was like, he had to win at least one.
Yeah.
But-
I did too. I thought he did
He
too.
did?
Nope.
I wasn't willing to Google.
He was just kind of like he would get close and then he would blow it.
Yeah.
You would have a good couple rounds. All right, so here's my first question here. Other than golf, what is the most violent sport in the United States?
Golf, 100%. Tennis is really violent.
Yeah.
I'd say MMA.
If we're just
It's
if,
supposed to be violent.
if we're
Yeah.
breaking it down on like what is, if you're saying the question is what's the most violent sport, I would say MMA or fighting in general, like boxing and shit
Boxing
like
doesn't
that.
even seem that violent.
It's definitely more dangerous than MMA.
Well, yeah, in the long term.
Yeah.
Comparatively, though, MMA is brutal, dude. Seeing people get
it's the
fucking
most violent
head
sport.
kicked and knocked out constantly.
Have you seen the video of the chick who does like the fake with the right leg, then knocks a chick out with the left leg? It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. See,
All
look,
right, so other than the fighting sports, what's the most violent sport?
probably like
Football.
football.
In the United States, it'd be football,
Yeah,
probably.
it's gotta be football.
Rugby.
Rugby.
Lacrosse seems pretty violent.
Yeah.
I've never watched lacrosse. I don't
It's
know.
super violent.
Is it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but there's not as
You're not intentionally like going in with your head, though, right?
Yeah. You
I
can't
think
hit people with the
You
stick.
can hit people with the stick.
Well, I think one of the main problems is like,
Are we overlooking hockey here?
oh, hockey's pretty violent.
Hockey
See, but
is-
like
But
now,
people don't get.
but nowadays, I feel like it's less. I think it's less violent now because it's such a finesse game to where like back in the day there'd be like each team would have a punisher or a bruiser where he
Yeah.
would just come in to like fight the other team. Like that was his job.
Yeah.
That was all he wasn't a good skater. He couldn't fucking score. Couldn't play defense. All he would do was go in there and fight. Nowadays, there's really that's not as that's not around. There's a
Well-
cool movie on Netflix. I think it's called like The Last Gladiator. It's fantastic. It's about like
My thing
fighting.
about hockey though is like, you never see anybody get knocked out, or you never hear about.
Oh
like,
yeah, you do. You can
Really?
watch them.
I don't see him getting knocked unconscious.
Watch some
never-
old hockey fights.
Oh.
They'll beat
Oh,
the
yeah,
shit
stuff
out of
like-
each other.
But I'm
man.
saying
They'll knock their
now.
teeth out and stuff, but they
Yeah.
don't get knocked. They always keep only the idiot takes their helmet off in these fights.
Yeah.
Fighting with a helmet off, helmet
Well,
on.
I mean,
seems
shit.
like
You
terrible.
can watch. I've watched football fights where someone takes their helmet off
And
starts
starts
swinging.
banging, yeah, swinging
Yeah.
with it.
It's like put that back on, dude.
Yeah.
Big mistake. All right. Let's get down to just the root of it. So, sports appeal to what with us? Is it like that sense of conflict? That like. So, do you think sports were a thing that just developed with humanity? Like people, like early hominids were competing against each other, and this evolved from there. Like it represents battle and survival.
I think it just has
Represents,
to do
like-
with like competitiveness,
Yeah.
and like for me, I think it's all about athleticism when it
Yeah.
comes to watching sports. I want to see somebody, like I don't know, like just break it for 90 yards and outrun everyone, or like catch an amazing catch or something like that. And I know in like there's tons of them. I don't watch a lot of baseball, but there's tons of amazing plays in baseball where I'm just like, wow, that was awesome.
Yeah, the whole thing of baseball is really just kind of miraculous. Like hitting a 97-mile-an-hour fastball.
Well, I just saw a clip of, I don't know if this is recent or maybe I just saw it, of this dude hits a fastball or whatever, hits the ball, and the pitcher turns around and it hits him in the calf.
That happened recently.
Yeah,
I seen
and then he
that.
twirls around and catches it.
Yeah, I seen
I was
that.
like, oh my god.
Yeah, that was amazing. So I mean, so what is it like that? What you think that the violence aspect or the competitive aspect is what draws us to sports?
So, like
I
in
think
general,
so.
why do people watch sports?
I think it's the best of the
Yeah.
best humans doing something. It's
So-
just like with the Olympics.
But what does it represent? Like, what is it? It feels like such a primal thing. Like it's like sex to us, really.
It's almost
It's
like-
as popular as sex. Like,
It's like pushing the limits of the human like ability.
that's why people watch it, is they want to see the
I think
limits
violence
pushed.
definitely helps. Like when violence occurs in it, it's like brings out something primal in you.
I think what it is it's you're creating like an identity through your team.
That's definitely part of it. Like
That's
the marketing
part. I would say
scheme.
that's part of it. That's definitely part of it. What's the core thing of sports that really draws people in? Because there's competitive spelling. There's
It's just,
competitive. What is it about like these contact sports and these action sports that are like
Well, then
that make it the most popular thing here in the United States?
Then it just has to go to what you said earlier. It has to just go to the fact that we get to watch people beat the fucking shit out of each other.
I think part of that too is how glamorized sports are.
Gladiator style.
And then in a certain way, you've grown up to watch these sports, and a lot of times somebody's going to become your idol in these sports. So then it's like, I wish I could be like that person.
So we're conditioned.
So role models.
Yeah.
Creating role models.
So we're conditioned to like sports because it's I don't know, I feel like it's packaged that it's almost like sex. It's like that it's a primal thing where we just like it goes back to our just like gladiator type shit.
I feel like at some point like every single kid plays a sport. Regardless if they are
Not every kid.
Most of them are playing something. They're doing something. They're in like upward basketball or like whatever.
And when you say
they're
for the
trying
most part,
something.
It's awesome to play a sport, to be on a team,
be part of that.
Yeah.
Winning feels really good.
Yeah. It hits something deep down. And it
helps you build like friendships. Like I met a lot of my friends playing sports.
Yeah. I would like to just have it recognized that like we are violent creatures.
Oh, 100%.
And I think that the popularity of sports is the number one evidence of just people are violent. Civilization tries to condition us out of it, but just deep down, like that is one of our core attributes. We're violent. We're still animals. Yeah. We're not above that. And sports are the representation of that.
Yeah.
The manifestation that we are just violent creatures.
Well, like if you look at like sports fans, like there's fights all the time. There's things happening in the stands and stuff.
Over your team, like
over your
weird
team.
To me, dude.
Not
that's
even,
so weird.
Not even over your team. It could be over like anything. But like, of course, that's gonna come to like alcohol and your situation, scenario, and like whatnot. So like, I found a really kind of, it's not funny, but it's like a goofy stat, and it said that. It says, are football players more likely to be arrested than the general population? And it says, in fact, it's lower than the general population. Like a football player being arrested is lower. It said, but when it comes to domestic violence, they're lower as well. But after games, like after upsets, domestic violence raises. So, like, if you're cheering for, the ups, like, an example would be, like, when the Seahawks didn't fucking run the goddamn ball and New England won, like, more wives got beat up that night.
That's a huge responsibility for these teams, I feel like.
It says domestic violence accounts for 48% of the arrests and crimes among NFL players compared to 21%, like, annually for regular people. So that's the main reason that almost 50% of the arrests in NFL players is domestic violence based.
So that would kind of lead towards like it would, like a lot of people go, are violent people in sports because they like them, or like violent people attracted to sports?
I feel like the most.
So, or do sports make people violent, or are they violent people attracted to sports? And that evidence right there leads me to believe that people are incited toward violence.
Yeah.
Because, I guess it'd be like a passions thing, or...
So you could say, I would feel like, the way that I'm seeing it is, the more violent you are, the more, like, athletically gifted you are, just, like, based off natural... Like, you think of a football player, like, you're ridiculously athletic.
So big, strong people are violent?
Yeah. 100%. I think that's
probably true,
analogy.
because you're more likely to go about your, like, not repress your violence because you know you can beat the shit out of somebody.
Yeah, you're more capable.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not afraid of a lot of people because I'm bigger than them. I wouldn't say I'm particularly, like, I'm not violent where I fight people and shit.
We've just hit on something here where it's like, having a big military here is supposed to be a deterrence for war and stuff like that.
But
so
really,
like, it makes you more, like, it kind of would be evidence.
Gives you confidence.
Yeah.
Well, isn't that
if
true?
you're taller than someone else, or bigger,
Wouldn't
or
that be
stronger
true
than someone else, you feel more confident. Like, I'll be like, fuck you. I'll
Yeah.
fucking kick your fucking ass.
Wouldn't that be true with America, though? Because,
Yeah.
I mean, like, we do have the biggest military for
Yeah.
deterrence of violence, but
Yes.
we cause the most wars.
Yeah, so we're supposed to be using that military to avoid conflict, but in reality, we are involved with the most conflicts.
And I think that one of the main reasons why we're involved with a bunch of shit, though, is because we're, like, looked at as, like, please help us.
But at the same time, it's like we get into these conflicts because we know we can win.
It's like the use
Yeah.
it or lose it.
Yeah. Okay, well, I think we just hit... That's an important thing.
I like that, yeah.
That was a good point there. I wish people would listen to that and really respond. Like, that was a good point we just came up with.
See, so, like, if we're just going off what we were kind of talking about earlier, where you're like, oh, like, violent people, like, let's think about, like combat sports. So, like, boxing, like, fighting, like, actual real wrestling. Like, those are violent people.
And, dude, you start watching a UFC fight or boxing or whatever, you don't, like, yeah, all the technical stuff's cool, but you want to see somebody get fucking roundhouse kicked to the face and knocked out violently.
Oh, yeah. Like, World
That's
Star
what people are watching.
Is this because we want to see other humans be hurt? How do we live in a society knowing that other human beings want to see you get hurt?
I don't think it's the fact that we want to see people be
I
hurt.
think
it is,
in
though.
that context, too, though, it's like, that is a competition to, like, the greatest extent.
That's like gladiator style. Like, that's two people in a
Like,
cage.
They're both getting paid massive amount
So
of money.
you enter that going under the understanding, like, this person has agreed to this conflict.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I think
that's-
that
so
kind of.
they-
I think that does pull some of the
Sanctioned
guilt off
violence.
of you. Like pulls that guilt
Sanctioned
off of you.
violence.
This dude is getting paid.
Yeah.
If I could get that paid that much, I would do it too.
So, okay, this is a cool example. When I watch a UFC fight and watch someone get knocked out, I go, oh shit, like, holy fucking crap, that was badass. But when I watch, like, a World Star fight and someone gets knocked out, I'm like, damn,
Cringe,
like,
cringe.
ah,
It's cringing. Cringe is
And
the
then when
best
they keep
description.
hitting them and shit, like, I'm like, fuck, oh my god.
Like, stop.
And the reason why
Yeah.
is because that's not a sanctioned fight.
yeah.
It's not a controlled environment. There's not a referee.
There's not
There's
medics.
someone gonna break it up. There's not, you know what I mean?
There's
So
not
we want
paramedics
those-
on site.
We want these rules. We need these
Oh,
rules.
we need the rules. Why do you think penalties are there?
Well, I think that's might be part of it too. When you see the knockout, is he is not gonna fucking die laying there.
Well, some of them die.
Yeah, for the most part, they've got medical attention right there, when
Yeah.
it happens. They're running, and
But you're doing irreversible damage now that we know.
Yeah.
Concussions.
but they
Well,
signed up for
concussions
that.
are. See,
They
that's
signed up for that.
different though. I feel like concussions change like a lot of aspects of like the way you think, and they damage your brain. Because like you could think of like who's a. I know you.
Javid Best? Is that
No,
anything about?
no. You used to watch like wrestling.
Yeah.
Who's a wrestler that had all those concussions, murdered his whole family?
Oh,
Chris Benoit.
yeah.
Yes.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You
yeah.
know what I mean? Like that changed. Like, and there's a lot of like people who have committed suicides based off like having compressions and being depressed, or having concussions
Oh,
and
dude,
being
it
depressed.
changes you. It's,
So who?
I've had a
this-
couple. I've had concussions. Some of them I didn't even know I had one.
I probably had 3. I have 3 that I can think of right now.
Yeah.
yeah.
So like football's on the front lines right now with this brain injury thing. They're the sport that's getting attacked for.
Football is.
Because
Yeah,
they
yeah,
ram each
football.
other's heads into each other.
Yeah.
Like, it's gonna happen.
So what do you think about like keeping football around and letting like high schoolers and young people play it when we know right now the brains are being damaged
I wouldn't.
permanently?
If I had a kid, I wouldn't let him play.
Oh man, I don't know, man. I don't know.
For me, it's, dude, you're
You're
hurting your most valuable asset every
yeah,
time you
but
go into
man,
the field.
it's just so like I feel like
the negatives just so far outweigh the positives. But people are like, oh yeah, it builds character with like the arguments for putting your kid in in football, or they just seem so trite to me. Like they don't stack up well against you later on in life. You're not gonna be able to think. You're going to have dementia.
but it's not like
It's not everybody, but it's a high percentage.
not.
It's very
I
high.
wouldn't say it's,
It's
a
very
high.
high.
Yes, it
percentage.
is.
Even in high school,
Concussions equal brain damage. The evidence is there, man.
Yeah.
and it's just gonna get more and more, and then we're gonna start to see NFL crumble. I think because it's gonna start to no more middle school football, no more
And
high school football.
I've been saying this for. Can I get a little credit here? Because I've been saying this for years, and you guys like.
No, I was always
attacking-
on board with you, but I'm gonna enjoy it while it's
I'm
on.
anti.
It won't be in our lifetime, I don't think.
Come
yes,
on.
it will. Yes, it will.
How long do you think
In
you're
our
gonna
life-
live?
Yeah. Jeez.
Do you think it will be
I'll
like
give
with
it
Football
Absolutely.
10 years before it's not the most popular sport anymore.
I don't know.
Well, I'm talking. I
Absolutely
thought you're talking about like it's non-existent though.
People will still play it. Like, people
20
still
years.
play
we
like
still play
sports that
football.
are 1,000 years old.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be the most popular. Like, football is declining.
It's gonna be so like dumbed down to where it's like flag football.
It's going to be dumbed down, and there's not going to be people to play it.
Why don't
Or
they
it's
just
just gonna
play
be
like
like-
rugby?
Or it's just gonna be like, since they don't have this farm of like athletes to choose from colleges and
Yeah.
high schools anymore, it's
They've
just
been
gonna
getting
be
the best athletes for
less
decades.
athletic people in the NFL. So then it's
Well,
gonna die
I mean,
down.
like shit with this the way that all these NBA players. I mean, like shit. If I'm a 6'6", 250-pound athletic motherfucker, you know what I mean? I could go play football and make $20 million, over a 5-year span
And then
injure my brain, or I can go to the NBA and make $15 million a year and be an average player.
yeah.
there's going to be an influx towards the NBA in the next 10 years. I can see that for sure.
Definitely.
NBA is going to take off. So is MMA. I could see that too. And I really do think
MMA.
NFL is
Imagine,
gonna decline.
imagine, right now, if like Rob Gronkowski was like, "All right, I'm gonna be an MMA fighter."
It would be
Holy shit!
crazy
Holy shit!
Be like
Or like
Tim
anyone.
Tebow going
because
to MLB.
after you hit like the heavyweight, you can be as heavy as you want too. So he would be like a heavyweight.
No, you can't.
Yeah, he can.
Not in. No, there's heavy. The heavyweight is 265.
I thought it was
No.
after you hit 265, it just doesn't matter.
No, there's no like over 265. You have to be 265 for
Oh, wow.
UFC.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, for like if you're like a
Gronk
heavyweight.
heavier than that?
Nah, probably like no. I mean, I'm assuming he's probably 6'6", 265. Like, but in the off season he's probably 265. In season he's probably like 250, 255. But he's like athletic as fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, think of any of these dudes. Think of like a fucking.
Getting punched in the face is a little different than.
But like, what if he was trained? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Think of like
yeah.
Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar played football.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah.
It's 205 to 265. It's heavyweight.
So like, so Brock Lesnar played football. He was a DT for Minnesota for like a couple practice seasons and stuff. Or like, you could even go to like wrestling. Like, I mean, like fake wrestling, whatever. But they're athletes.
yeah,
Some
yeah,
of them have
well,
even transitioned into
yeah,
to MMA already. Like,
Mhm.
Lesnar, CM Punk.
I don't think CM Punk ever fought, but
He's about to.
I
It's
I
about to be a
remember-
big fight.
I remember,
He went and trained for 2 years.
but he got a back injury or something. He pulled out at some point.
No, he's about to fight right now. He wanted to do it right. So it's
Yeah.
going to be a big fight, I think.
And they pull people in. This last fight was the McGregor and Diaz thing is huge. Like,
Oh, yeah.
millions and millions and millions and millions of people watch that.
So should we be trying to curb this violent behavior? Like, or is this something we're trying to decrease in society? Because it seems like that's the tendency. Like, we are kind of abhorred by violence,
I think
but at the same time we're kind of glorifying it.
I think what
We got to pick a direction.
I think it's going to be glorified no matter what, because like I think that's people. People are violent.
I think you're not going to see it go away in a generation or nothing like that.
But I feel like we eventually would have to evolve past it.
yeah.
Past
I'm not,
violence?
but I don't think
Past violence, yes.
Yes, but I don't think we're past it within our, like, if we can see that there's violence right now in our society, we're not going to see that us evolve past it for many, many years.
But that's the direction we would have to go. if
Yeah,
we
and I
want to
think it
survive.
is the direction we're going in when we're studying these things. Like, we're going in and saying, hey, football's violent, and it has this bad impact on you. Maybe you
Mhm.
should think about not doing it,
Yeah.
or letting our kids do it, or whatever.
It's hard to imagine a world without like this competition, without this like life and death thing that we like to set up with these grand dramas. That
I've got an answer.
what is it?
Purge.
The Purge. One
One day here.
Were we talking? I feel like that was something.
There's got to be a
serious.
release novel. Like I don't know. It doesn't seem possible that we're ever gonna get past our violent tendencies, but that seems to be the way that we need to go as a species. But like we're all avid sports fans.
I think like, and I do think that. Okay, how about this?
Well,
What? Oh,
I was gonna say, violence breaks out even in non-violent sports.
yeah.
So like baseball,
There's fights in
dugouts just come out and just start swinging.
But
and
it's still
shit.
competition, which
So,
is
but that's not supposed to be violent.
baseball.
It just
Like
becomes,
soccer? There's
it
fights in
becomes
soccer and
violent
shit?
because you want to win. You want.
Oh yeah, like I feel like we've kind of established that just being competitive is being aggressive and just
Yeah.
like it goes hand in hand. It's violence and competitiveness are just hand in hand.
So do you think sportsmanship isn't a thing?
Sportsmanship?
Because like, okay, think about this. After you finish your game, you gotta like line up in a line and like fake high five the other team. Like when realistically you want to like spit on your hand and like
Yeah.
shake their
That's
hand.
true.
You know?
So I think that's the two things we're considering here is like the rules, which represent our society that keep us together, and then the competitiveness, which represents our animal instincts.
Okay.
Like that's what sports are. Is it's a combination of
both.
society,
So it's like
the rules we agree to, and our animal instincts to just compete and go out and destroy our competitors.
Yeah. Okay. So it's like almost like for the athlete, it's like an acceptable way to
Mhm.
exert your violence.
your violence or aggression, 100%.
Yeah.
And that's how. And then like you can even break that down to like you just destroying yourself.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
think of like a
you're competing against yourself in a lot of these sports.
think of like a marathon runner. Like they're just destroying themselves to like, you know, be the fastest marathon runner, finish the race.
Yeah.
that
or-
speaks to me in a
or
whole
like-
different
Or
level.
like
of-
power lifters, like dude, like people are like, you know, ripping their hands open and breaking their backs and tearing their hamstrings, but they're like, oh yeah, I can't wait for my hamstring to heal because I want to deadlift again.
There is no progression. There is no. What's the quote you have tattooed on you? There is no.
Oh, that's without struggle there is no progress.
That. Yeah, all right. So that harkens back to that for me. Is we're like the only way to go forward
So-
is to just like you have to destroy something.
So
and
this this is really cool. This dude, I had a chiropractor in the bar on Monday night, and like he's like looking at me, and he's like, yeah, and like they were like really drunk, and he goes, hey man, how old do you think I am? I'm like, I don't know, dude. He's like, I'm 52. I was just like, you look really good for your age. He's like, yeah, you want to know the secret? I was like, what? He goes, I deadlift every day and I squat every day, but I do lightweight and I do it for like 1,000,000 reps. Like I just rep out lightweight all the time, and my testosterone's high, and like look at me, like I just look great, don't I? I'm like, oh yeah, dude, you look cool. Whatever. He's like, yeah, so you need to quit doing what you're doing. I was like, what? He's just like, he said, stop lifting heavy right now and just do lightweight and just be in shape and be healthy and like live a really long, prosperous life. And I was trying to explain to him that like, I don't care about it. I don't fucking care about living a long and healthy life. In my mind, I want to be the strongest version of myself right now, today. So I grind and I push myself and I injure myself and hurt myself, and I love it. It fucking makes me feel good to know that like I'm kicking life's ass.
Yeah.
Regardless of when I'm 51 years old, if I'm in shape or not.
I honestly think the guy you're talking to had a great point.
It is a good point, but that's not. But that's for him. That's his life.
Yeah.
That's his decision. That's his motivator. For me, it's not. I want to be strong as fuck. So I grind to be strong as fuck.
Short-term versus long-term gains is what we're looking at here. You can gain both in conflict. What's the more higher value? I guess it just depends on the person. What you value higher is you want to be big and strong as shit right now.
Well, it's not like that dude is
Not right
like
now.
a fountain of youth either.
And then the thing is like this. I mean, I could. You never know. Maybe I lift heavy for the rest of my life, and I never break my fucking back, and I never tear a muscle, and I'm just strong as fuck forever. You never know. So,
You got some pretty serious things you're dealing with, it seems like.
I'm fine right now. I'm healthy as fuck.
Right now, yeah. But you've had, like...
I've never torn anything or anything like that. The only time I've ever hurt myself is when I'm doing activities outside of lifting weights. Like, I sprain my ankles and shit when I'm playing flag football with you guys. You know what I mean? That's when I get hurt, is when I'm running around and shit. Not when I'm bench pressing and squatting and deadlifting.
When you get dookie shooed.
Yeah. Well, actually, I dookie shoot someone.
Yeah.
You
When
always
mine
do.
usually
Cody
go.
is an expert on getting dookie shoot.
Shut up. You had cleats, I didn't.
Oh, come on, Cody. You
Whatever.
got dookie shoot something
Whatever.
fierce, man.
But I'll tell you someone that would never dookie shoot. Cody's brother got murdered by
I
Cody.
destroyed him.
Dude, I
There's
felt
probably
bad
people
for him.
wondering, like, if there might be some people hearing this going, what's Dookie Shoe? So it's like you're guarding somebody and they juke you, which is like doing a maneuver that's hard to guard, so good that you slide like your feet are sliding in dog poop, and you get Dookie Shoed.
Yeah. It happens a lot in
It's very
basketball. That's
comical
amazing.
looking, yeah.
When you cross someone over,
It's,
like
it's
if,
horrible.
a lot of times they say, "Oh, your ankles got broke," like in basketball, but that's
Yeah.
the same thing as being Dookie shoot.
Yeah.
Just a cooler name. For
I'm
it.
really trying to coin that term. I've heard it before, but I wanted to
I've
catch
never
on
heard
because
it,
I
so
love it.
I
It's
like it.
fantastic.
It's great.
All right, I think that went really well. Thanks for listening. Make sure you guys like our Facebook page, Regular Man's Manifesto. Subscribe to us on iTunes. Same thing, Regular Man's Manifesto. And on SoundCloud. We're trying to get those listens up, trying to get a good following. It seems like we're staying consistent with content, and we would love feedback, too, on the Facebook page. You guys like, comment, share all of our posts. The more you talk to us, the more information we're going to have, the more content we can bring to you.
Tell your kids, tell your wife, tell everybody else.
We appreciate it, guys. Signing out.
Peace.
See ya.
Regular Man's Manifesto.